Dear fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, have any one of us wanted to write a book, ever? I guess I'm the only one. Okay, Joy and me are the only people in our group. So I wanted to bring this up today because ever since I was 12 years old, I wanted to be a comic book artist because that's all I read, and I was so a part of it that the next logical choice for me growing up was just being an author. Now the thing was that I was 12, so I spent 12 years wanting to be an author, and then I spent another 12 years not being one. And the funny thing is that when we're young, we have all these great dreams for ourselves, but when we get older, when we have the ability to be what we wanted to be, we don't do it, right? And so what really triggered me was when I read an article on Huffington Post from this woman who had written about 40 books in 3 years. And she said something that was to the effect of, just because you have a dream doesn't mean it's going to happen. You have to actually write it. And, I just wanted to share with you the 3 steps that got to where I was able to become an author. So the first thing was having the right motivation. Now, when I was 12 years old, I just thought it was cool. It turns out just thinking something is cool is not enough to get you to actually do it. When I turned 24, I was teaching a lot of outlet sellers how to sell to Chinese people because I knew the language, and I thought that it would be cool to write a book so I can get more clients and more recognition. And so on October 3rd, 2014, I published my first book called How to Sell Out to the Chinese Without Learning Mandarin. Now, that book, I'm kind of embarrassed of it now, but it taught me that it's possible to write a book on Amazon, and it gave me a lot of courage to do some of the things that I did later. So the first thing is absolutely motivation, because if you're not motivated to do something, you're just not going to do it. And the second step to writing a book is the hardest part, actually sitting your butt in the chair and typing it all out. And I had to kind of adjust to this because I was grown up hearing authors saying, oh, it took 2 years to write my book. I took a whole year to write a book. And I thought that was just too much time. So now the process of me writing a book is that I just take 3-day weekends and just write everything out. And my husband learned this the hard way. Now he knows if I'm writing a book, bring me food, leave me alone, and shut the door. So if you have friends and family living with you and you disappearing for 3 days will affect them, just let them know because they will help you with your routine. And lastly, I just want to say how to publish on Amazon, because if I was born like 30 or 40 years earlier, I would not be able to be a published author just because you have to be good. Now, I'm not saying I'm a terrible writer, but just that, you listen to J.K. Rowling, she was rejected like 40 times before Harry Potter was accepted. You hear, Gone with the Wind, it was rejected a bunch of times too. And I just thought, if you have a message, there's the internet, there's Amazon.com, you can publish it. And actually, there's a service called Kindle Direct Publishing, where if you have a book title, you have a book file, and the keywords so people can search for you, you can write a book today and you can be published tomorrow. So I just wanted to share with you guys because I think most people don't write books not because they can't, but because they don't know how. So thank God for the internet, thank God for Amazon. Anybody, and I mean anybody, can publish a book, right? And so I think that, writing a book may be, somebody's dreams, but it's actually pretty easy. And just as a thank you for listening to this speech, I'm going to be gifting you guys something special at the end. I'm not Oprah, so I can't give you guys cards or anything, so this is the closest I can do. So just as a recap, the 3 steps to writing a book. The first step is having the motivation to write it. The second step is blocking out time, telling people around you that you're going to do it and committing to it. And the third step is to publish it on Amazon Kindle. You'll be able to get a digital version, and you'll also be able to have a hard copy version, and you can do it through CreateSpace, which is a printing company that prints on demand, so that if you want 50 books, they'll print it out within about a week or so. You'll be able to show your friends and family, hey, I wrote a book, and you can share with it's actually the best business card, because when people give me their business cards, I try my best to follow up, but sometimes I just lose them, right? But people don't lose books, and you gain so much credibility, and I was also able to get some clients off of my previous book. So if you're running a business, it's actually a great strategic move as well. So again, these are the 3 steps, and thank you so much for listening, and I will be handing out the books right after the talk. Thank you so much.